Hey guys, it's Pro Performance Coach Adam Carmichael here. Today's video is about why do you lack motivation? Now it comes down to a few things. So first of all, where does motivation come from? Where do you get that initial spark of motivation to come into your life? So it comes down to two things. Motivation comes from desire to want something, and belief that you can make it happen. So when you want motivation, the first thing, you need to actually have ambition. You need to want to achieve something. You need to have a vision of the future that gets you excited, that makes you think, yes, I really, really want to do whatever it takes to make that happen. If you haven't got that initial desire, you're not going to have that motivation to take action. So the first thing is get crystal clear on what you want to achieve. Over the long run, I think the longer you can think ahead, the more you can think 5, 10 years of what you want to achieve, the more kind of desire you have to kind of put the work in. But yeah, motivation comes from that spark of desire. Now, with that, you need belief. You need belief and expectation that you are going to be able to achieve it, that you can do whatever it takes to achieve the goal. So it could be you have the expectation and belief that you can learn the skills needed, that you can put the work in, that you can figure out a way to get to that goal, but you need that initial belief. So I'm not sure if you guys have had this experience yourself, but I've definitely had it where I basically sat down, there's some massive goals, like make $1 million in a year. And this is a few years ago, and I set goals, like really big goals for myself, which like sounded really awesome on paper, but as I was writing them, I didn't believe them. I was like, it's probably not going to happen, Adam. Nah, it's not going to happen. I had this subconscious story telling myself it's not going to happen. So as a result, I felt really deflated. I felt like I was just lying to myself. Like it's never going to happen. So that belief is super, super important. So how do you get more of that belief? The first thing you need to do is remind yourself of situations where you've improved, where you've shown that you can learn, where you've shown that you can grow, and just remind yourself the stories that facilitate you being that person. So we're always telling ourselves stories. If you don't believe something, it's often because you're telling yourself negative stories, that you remind yourself of all the times you failed, remind yourself all the times things didn't go well. To believe, remind yourself of the positive story. So I won't go too deep into this avenue on this video. If you guys want me to, I could do a full video on belief systems and overcoming limiting belief systems, which would be a whole other topic. But yeah, basically you need that initial desire, and then you need to believe. So you need these two need to come together. If not, you'll feel deflated. You'll not be able to continue going. So that's the first thing. That's the spark of motivation. Then you've got to think, how do you sustain motivation? So there's two things for sustaining motivation as well. The first one is attention. You need to keep your attention on your goal. Keep your eye on the ball. Most people fail with their goals. They don't achieve them because they lose sight of them. Life takes over. They get derailed. They end up doing tasks and doing things that are less important, and they lose sight of their big picture. So to keep your attention on the ball, to keep your eyes on your goals, at least look at your goals every morning. Every morning, look at your goals for the year and like read them out. Ideally, write them out. Like writing out your goals is super, super important. I did a challenge once where I did 60 days in a row of writing out all my goals. It was super repetitive. It felt like, God, but my goals, like I actually did amazing with my goals that year, and I achieved a lot of the goals I wrote down. So yeah, this year, again, I'm going to write down my goals for, I'll probably do 30 days, 60 days. It does seem repetitive by the end, but writing it down, there's something really powerful about writing your goals down over and over. It keeps your attention, your focus where you want it to be. Your goals are important to you, so give them the attention they need. The next thing is effort. So without effort, you're never going to achieve your goals. Life's going to be hard. You're going to have days where motivation's really low and you're like, oh, fuck this shit. So you need to make sure you're putting the effort in on those days. You're really pushing in and you're putting the work in. So that work ethic, that drive, that showing up when you're exhausted, showing up when you're fatigued, and just going, you know what, I'm working towards my goals because they're important to me. That effort is needed. So have your attention on your goals and have that effort put in consistently. Like there's a good book called The Motivation Myth, which talks all about how motivation's kind of bullshit and all that matters is making progress. And when you make progress day after day towards meaningful goals, that is what sparks motivation. So he says action is what is needed. If you take action, even when you don't feel motivated, that's gonna, once you get started, motivation starts to come as you're making progress towards your goal. So that comes from effort. So I think there's multiple facets to this. I think attention on the goal is really important, and I think the effort to get you over those obstacles, get you past all those rough days. Let's be realistic. This is not like a hype up video where you guys are going to feel massively motivated every single day. Some days you're not going to feel motivated. Some days you'll remind yourself of your goals in the morning. You go, right, these are really important to me, and you still won't feel like doing stuff. So you need to cultivate that effort in your days so that you're consistently moving forward towards your goals. And the next thing to amplify your motivation is your attitude and your environment. So your attitude, whether you're positive, whether you're negative, is going to make a big difference to your motivation levels over the long run. So you need to constantly have that optimism in the way you approach situations, that you can learn, that you can grow. Having a growth mindset is one way of phrasing it, rather than a limited mindset. So growth mindset always believes that I can learn this, I can do better, if I work harder, I will grow and learn what's needed to progress. A limited mindset believes that circumstances are what they are, I haven't got enough talent, if I fail it's because I'm not good enough, and you need to make sure you're cultivating a growth mindset and your attitude's positive. A way to do that is to surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with guys who are going to inspire you and get you to think bigger and aim bigger. If you're around negative people, it's going to have the same, it's going to have the reverse sort of outcome. And the other thing was environment. So environment links to the people you surround yourself with, but your environment's super, super important. Like, you should be having the office you work in should be super motivating. There should be no distractions. You should be working in an office that really inspires you. You should be around people who are pushing you to achieve your goals, not people who are shooting you down and saying you can't do this. And yeah, your environment's super, super important for amplifying your motivation. So the things you control is you control your immediate environment. You control the people you surround yourself with for a large portion of the time. So surround yourself with positive people, avoid negative people, but also like control your work environment, eliminate distractions, have everything set up so that you can continue to be motivated and continue to make progress over the long run. So let's do a quick recap of what motivation is all about. So the initial spark comes from desire and belief. Those two are needed, both of them are needed in order to spark that initial motivation. To sustain motivation, you need attention on your goals and you need effort. And to amplify it, you need your attitude to be positive and you need to be in the right environment consistently. So if you guys got some good value from this, if you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Plenty more content coming from me very soon.